Good evening, Scotland. Good evening, social media land. I really hope you are all well. I'm exhausted. It's Wednesday the 18th of September 2024 and I should be buzzing because 10 years ago today, many of us were expecting a result of independence, but we never got it. And do you know what? I'm okay with that. Well, I'm not really, but I'm okay with that because I think we've been vindicated over the past decade. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. That's not what I'm here to talk about anyway. I'm just here to talk about what an amazing time I've had today, to be perfectly honest. And I've got a lot of pictures to show you for it all. Well, let's just start off right. First of all, today is the anniversary of the referendum. I think we all know that. I think some of us will be sitting there sort of like still rubbing our wounds, and I get that. But do you know something? Let's look at this in a weird sort of light, right? Today we had an SNP sort of get together in George Street at the Assembly Rooms, which was really good. I'm going to show you some pictures of that in a minute. And then we had the Believe in Scotland's sort of rally outside Holyrood with some great speakers, and that was also quite inspiring as well. But we had these celebrations on, and there was things going on all over Scotland and all the rest of it. And I want to ask, where was all the Unionist celebrations? They won, They won. Where was their rallies? Where was their marches? Where was their get-togethers to say, hey, we won, but we're still friends with you guys that want independence because we're a friendly lot, us Unionists? Where were they? Were they out celebrating austerity today, were they? No. Were they out celebrating pensioners having their winter heating allowance removed? No, I didn't see any celebrations for that, no. What about Brexit? Were they out celebrating Brexit? No, I never saw them either. 1 wee second. Please don't put the washing machine on while I'm live. Okay? Cool. I'll switch it on once I'm finished, okay? Because we'll hang it up as well. Good job. This isn't a Friday night live and it's just ad hoc, eh? Because I'm so tired. So were they out celebrating anything? Nah. So they weren't celebrating the austerity. They weren't celebrating pensioners not getting their fuel allowance. They weren't celebrating Brexit and all the massive loss of money that goes with that. What about without celebrating funding weapons to Israel? No, they weren't doing that either. They weren't funding much at all. Were they celebrating the lovely riots they had down in England? No. But what were we doing? We were doing, as a positive yes movement, the yes campaign, what were we doing? We were out rubbing shoulders and speaking to our political leaders. We were rubbing shoulders together as a community outside Holyrood. And it was fantastic. Let me bring up some pictures just now. Hold on, where are we? Yeah, so image number 1. Let's see. Let's hope this works. Yay! So here we go. This is at the end of John Swinney's speech and George Street at the Assembly Rooms when they all got together for a wee bit of a photography sesh, which was great. And you know something? It was a nice speech. Didn't really feel like there was anything. What are you meowing at? Listen, cat, I'm live. Stop meowing. Psst, come here. My charger's gone. No idea. Was I saying? Yeah. I think there was more determination about putting independence front and centre of everything. That was definitely something. And then when he was taking questions from the press, he made that abundantly clear as well, which was great. So yeah, let's move on to the next picture. What's the next one? Oh, there's me and Kieran. Yes, and look in the top right hand corner. There's our Ken as well. There, because I went with it was Ken that actually said, "Hey, Ken, hey Max." Right. Anyway, there's Ken. He was one that actually said, "Hey, look, there's this event going on." I didn't know anything about it. I checked my emails later, and there it was. It was definitely there. So I could have gone without Ken, but no. Thanks, Ken, for telling me about it, which is good. There's our John again, which is fantastic. And moving on to the next one. There's me and Ken at the wee mini conference, is probably what we could call it, with our yes signs, which is nice. Now, this is the sort of like the night scene just after it was finishing tonight, when people started to head off home at the rally for Believe in Scotland. And I have to say, it was good. I'd probably say it's not like, for a midweek rally, I would say maybe 500 plus people were there in total. And you'll see from, I think it's the next image I've got, shows more. Oh no, that's Kevin. We'll come back to Kevin in a minute. So about 500-600 people there, entertainment, good speeches, good people speaking about things, all looking at everything that has to do with independence. What I liked about Gordon McIntyre Kemp was he was saying, I'm extending a hand to the entire independence movement. So it doesn't matter what political party you're in, what faction you may follow, the hand is there to work together towards independence. Now, that is a genuine offer. Gordon is quite a genuine guy, and he put out that sort of extended hand to all the groups to say, put aside your differences. Let's talk. Let's have a national conversation, get all your guys talking about it, get them speaking to people that might not be convinced yet, etc. That sort of thing. I thought that was pretty good. And the whole event went out on Independence Live, and that is who this wee picture is. This is Kevin. He doesn't get enough attention as our Kevin from Independence Live. He's the hardest working techie boy in the independence movement. And you know something? You have to turn around and say, hey man, hats off to you, brother, because you do a crap load for independence. He has loads of shows. You want to go to, just go to Google or go into YouTube and put in Independence Live, and you'll see him there, which is good. You'll see all the different programs. Sometimes we broadcasted there before. I'm going to start broadcasting again there soon. I'm going to give him a tinkle. It's just that the music that I use is copyrighted, and I don't want to get him to have a copyright strike, or not to get his escrow advertising, because I've got music that's not usable. Next image. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of more when it was full up before the sun went down. You can see that it's busy on the ridge there. It goes about 5 or 6 deep behind the guy with the yes part, and then the crowd round to the left as well was kind of swinging round. It was flipping great. It was nice to see people, nice to rub shoulders with the Indie family, the Yes family again. Right, this lady here, Jenny. Jenny is our Secretary for Education, right? And she's my newest, most favourite MSP. Now, people say that she's made mistakes and things. I think everybody's entitled to make mistakes. But I like her because of this.
The Scottish Government are in a financial straitjacket, and there is never a scintilla of recognition that maybe, just maybe, decisions taken elsewhere are harming the decisions rather taken in this Parliament. Because that context is what the Unionist parties have bequeathed to the children of Scotland. That context matters. A block grant cut for capital of nearly 9%, meaning £1.3 billion less for Scotland. Look, I hear the Unionist parties heckling from a sedentary position. This is their union. They should take ownership of these cuts coming to Scotland. A £1.2 billion cut. I hear anger from the Conservative benches. This is their union. They should own it.
Yeah. So I spoke to Jenny today, and I said to her, listen, you know something? Your little own it phrase is something that we should all get behind. And I've said to the guys that I kind of hang out with in Discord and things, we should be using this as a hashtag. It's your union, own it, or just hashtag own it. Use them both. And anytime you have anybody that gives any garbage about wanting to be, independent, and starts talking about it, says, well, you must like austerity. What do you mean? Or just anything, just throw it back at them about the union, because it's their union and it's their problem. We want change. We want something more positive. We want to have something that's better than what we have just now, and yes, they have to own it. They have to own this whole nonsense about being the union. I'm sorry, I'm really tired tonight. I'm just ad-libbing like crap. It was just a quick live, to be perfectly honest. Not a massive one. What I did want to say is, let's see if I can find my notes on this, because I did notes for a sort of a different video, and if I've still got that here. This is something I put together to record. I did record it, I've just not edited it yet, and I might read excerpts from it for you, because you know what, it's pretty decent. Let's see, is it an anniversary? Yes, it is. There we go. Let's open this up. I'm going to give this a wee read just now, okay? I think it's important that we sort of reflect and everything for the past 10 years. So I'm going to read it out to you. As we mark the 10th anniversary of the 2014 independence referendum, we stand at crossroads in our movement. This milestone is not just a moment for reflection, but a call to action. Today, I'm going to speak to both the old guard, the people that have campaigned for decades, who have kept the torch burning through real life activism, and also the young guns, the indie generation, a vibrant and progressive force ready to shape the future of Scotland. Together, these groups represent the best of our nation's past and our future, and by uniting them, by working together, we can further our cause and bring about the independence that we seek. The 2014 referendum was a pivotal moment in Scotland's history, and although the result was a no vote, with 45% of voting for independence, it ignited a movement that has never truly faded. In the years that followed, the independence movement grew stronger, driven by a combination of factors that included political upheavals like Brexit and the increasing disconnect between Westminster and Scottish values. The SNP's landslide victory in 2015 in the UK general election, where they won 56 out of 59 seats in Scotland, was a clear sign that the referendum had awakened something in the Scottish people. It was no longer a fringe idea. Independence had entered the mainstream, and it became clear that Scotland's journey towards self-determination was far from over. Then came Brexit, turning point for many Scots who had voted no in the 2014 referendum, but were now faced with a new reality. Scotland's place in the UK had led it out of the EU against its will. This realisation reignited the independence debate with a renewed urgency. Nicola Sturgeon, as First Minister, made the case for a second referendum, arguing that the terms of the Union had fundamentally changed. The political landscape of Scotland shifted once more, and the movement for independence began to attract new supporters who saw independence not just as a constitutional matter, but as a means in ensuring that Scotland could control its own future.
My name is Kareem, and I want to build a better Scotland by progress with a well-being economy, so everyone in our land can live in dignity and security. What would you do to build a better Scotland?
Yeah, so what would you do to build a better Scotland? Have a think about that, because we're going to be asking that a couple of times throughout tonight, and I'm going to continue with my little soliloquy that will be boring for most of you, but some of you might find interesting. These campaigners, many of whom were at the forefront of the 2014 referendum, have kept the flame of independence alive in all these years. They have marched on the streets, organised rallies, and participated in the grassroots activism, ensuring that the cause had never been forgotten. 1 second. Would you shut up, cat? Psst, psst, psst. Friggin' live. Stop your meowing. It's like cats, who would have them? Their passion and their dedication have been the backbone of this movement, providing the foundation upon which the next generation can build. Without their tireless efforts, the tireless efforts of the old guard, the guys that are and girls that are out there, from decades ago, from when I was 12, there was people doing this. Without their efforts, this movement would not have the momentum that it does have today. Can you not get in? Is that what it is? Right, okay. Honestly. The all under one banner marches, where thousands gathering in towns and cities across Scotland, is just one example of how they have kept independence on the public agenda. But while the old guard has worked to maintain the movement's momentum, it's time to recognise and look at the folly creeping in to the political establishment, the polarisation of what people start to believe in. The divisions between the SNP and the Alapa Party and the Scottish Greens splintered the movement into competing factions, each advocating different strategies of how to achieve independence. These political disagreements have distracted us from our shared goal, leading many activists to focus more on party loyalty than on the cause of independence itself. It's important to rise above these divisions and remember that independence is not about political parties. It's about the people. Politics will only ever deliver the legal framework for a recognised ballot, but it's our collective will that will make it happen. The other thing we need to consider as well is the Holyrood voting system. It offers a unique opportunity for strategic voting. If we can encourage voters to set aside their party loyalties and focus on electing as many pro-independence MSPs as possible, whether they're from SNP, Alapa or Greens, we can ensure that the Scottish Parliament reflects a pro-Scottish view, basically the will of the Scottish people. Strategic use of both the constituency vote and the regional list vote will maximise the pro-independence representation, creating the conditions necessary for us to move forward and have that referendum. And listen, if no referendum is democratically agreed by Westminster, then we can treat the legal ballot box event in 2026 as a plebiscite, as a de facto, as they like to call it. So we treat it as like a plebiscite referendum and then vote not just for party loyalty, but to deliver the maximum representation in Holyrood for pro-Scottish MSPs, not pro-union. Does it not make sense to have a pro-independent stroke pro-Scottish government there, not arguing with as many unionists, but debating what's best for Scotland with other MSPs that are also debating what's best for Scotland, rather than just turning round and mocking them because they want independence and having that whole sort of situation like the union is better attitude, you know? The majority of pro-Scottish MSPs will be the foundation for which we can deliver our independence. There's no going back from that. And the world will be watching to see if Westminster even entertains denying Scottish democracy in the overwhelming majority of our MSPs. Bear in mind, the world will be watching in 2026 because the Commonwealth Games are coming once again to our country.
My name is Jackie, and I want to build a better Scotland by creating a national care service so that every person who may require help does so with the dignity they deserve. What would you do to build a better Scotland?
That was Jackie, one of our activists that we like to rub shoulders with, asking you guys, what would you do to build a better Scotland? I'm going to ask you to think about it, because we're going to have a chat about this at the end of the live again. What would you do to build a better Scotland? What is the thing that you want to see most in Scotland? It doesn't have to be political. In fact, I'd prefer it if it wasn't political. So yeah, have a wee think about that, please. Right, where did we get to? Going forward, we need to build a bridge between the activists that have been around doing stuff for a very long time and also the indie generation. The indie generation are these young Scots who were too young to vote in 2014, but now overwhelmingly support independence. In fact, over 60% of 16 to 35-year-olds would vote yes tomorrow if there was a ballot box event to determine this. That's pretty good going. That's probably about, between 800,000 and 1 million Scots at that age that would do that. That's a lot of people. And if you think about it, okay, so my son's 18 now. He was 8 when the referendum came around. He's going to vote yes. My daughter, she'll vote yes, so she's 16. There's 2 extra yes votes just from this household. My wife, she's a new Scot. She came from a different country. She would vote yes. There's 3 new votes right there for yes, 4, including mine. I think that's what actually frightens the living daylights out of Westminster, is they know that if we had another vote, they have nothing positive to argue about. There is nothing there. The union has not a positive thing to say about Scotland remaining in the union. It makes no sense at all. Anyway, the indie generation, they have a passion for social justice, climate change and human rights. And this kind of aligns perfectly with the nation that we want to build. They are digital natives skilled in online activism and mobilisation, and they have the power to spread the message of independence far beyond traditional methods of door knocking and leafleting. But these guys also must learn from the old guard what campaigning is all about. And, you know, we need to encourage them to come to marches so they can experience that collectiveness, that positive sort of vibration that we give out when we're doing these marches. I just want you to think about the strength of the old guard's passion combined with the indie generation's energy and innovative approaches to campaigning. If the old guard's experience in organising rallies and marches could be combined with the indie generation's mastery of digital activism, We'd have the best of both worlds, a movement that operates in the streets and on our digital devices, that would speak to the hearts and minds of Scots, young and old. I think that would be great. Hello. What is going on with my buttons tonight? My buttons are not wanting to play properly. So we shall see if this one works. Yeah, that one works.
My name is Kinneach, and I want to build a better Scotland by creating a fairer, more equal society where the country's success and prosperity is measured by the people's happiness and well-being. What would you do to build a better Scotland?
Right, that's the last time I'm going to ask you, is because when I finish this little soliloquy that we're reading just now, we're going to start talking about building a better Scotland. Okay, right, where did we get to? Right, so yeah, as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the 2014 referendum, remember that independence is within our reach. It's something that's never gone back into its cupboard, its bag, whatever you want to say. We've never forgotten about it. It was opened, and it's never going to go away. It's a question that it's inevitable that it's going to happen. We just have to push it along and make sure that our kids get it or our grandkids get it. It's important. I mean, who wouldn't want to have decisions made in Scotland by Scots for Scots? Who knows us better? I think Westminster knows us better. I don't think so. Anyway, it's within our reach, but it will not be delivered by politicians alone, nor by any single political party. It will be delivered by us, the Scottish people, and we will have a vote when we are ready for it. Okay? And we'll just want to finally say that we need to acknowledge the humility of our journey thus far. We have faced setbacks, divisions and challenges, but we've also built a movement that is resilient and ready for the next stage. So let today be a reminder that it is not the politicians or the political parties that will bring about our independence. It's us, the people. The power lies with us, and together united in our shared vision of a better Scotland, we will make independence a reality. We will deliver a Scotland that is for every Scot and every new Scot and every future Scot still to be born. Understand that a people united is a nation ignited. We are one heart, one land. United we will stand. Onward to freedom.
I can't get no sleep.
Yeah, I had to put my headphones on because I love that tune so much. Hello, cat. Oh, wrong finger. Oh, tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Hey, that is Milo. My other cat is called Indy, would you believe? But Milo was supposed to be called Pendants, but the kids never thought that would be a good idea to have Indy and Pendants as my cats. Nope, they didn't want me to do that. Spoil sports. There you go. Right, listen. First of all, let me thank everybody that's been chit-chatting in the chit-chat. Let me acknowledge people that are across in YouTube land, because we've been broadcasting in YouTube, Facebook and TikTok tonight. There's Mr. David Cable. Good to see you there, brother. Thank you for popping in on, what's it called, on the Tube of Views. And Ken was there adminning. Thank you very much as well. And Robert, there you go. Robert Scrimminger, come on down. He's a good guy. He's one of the good guys. Formerly no, now yes. I keep saying that. He probably hates me saying that. But he is the epitome of in a Scotland that was independent. What would you like to see? And we get people saying things like, want to see no more food banks. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. Do you think, though, here's the thing, do you think food banks will go while we remain in the Union? That's a question. Please answer it in the chat. All right. If anybody's watching or still interacting, have a consideration of that in the chat. Will food banks go if we remain in the Union? Maybe, eventually, perhaps. I don't know. But not in the near future. Not at all. What about our cost of living crisis and our ridiculously overcharged power and energy? Do you think that's going to change while we're in the Union? I don't think so. No, not at all. MD, yeah, not with the Labour government, and I don't believe with the Tories government either. I don't think anything of that's going to happen. Who is talking about roasted cheese? Ken, you should know better. We don't have roasted cheese in our Discord. It's cheese on toast. Only psychopaths have roasted cheese. All right? Truth of the matter. Yep, David in YouTube land saying no food banks, decriminalisation of probably, I would go a step further than that. I would say decriminalisation in the same manner that parts of Switzerland and Portugal have done, David, because I think that narcotic rehabilitation will come easier if we don't have people having to rub shoulders with the criminal element. It doesn't mean that people are going to go out and get smashed on stuff every night, but I think that it should be all of them, and I think that it should be licensed. But hey ho, I'm not an expert in it, so please don't quote me on anything remotely crazy about it. It's just that Scotland's drug issue is something that needs to be addressed properly, and it needs to be addressed with an adult conversation, and it needs to be recognised that the Union not allowing us to do the things and to be innovative about our drug problem is probably killing people, you know? It's not great. It's not great. Okay, the other thing that somebody said to me was they wanted a water park. Well, I have to say that the whole thing about Flamingo Land is a wee shame that they're not getting that as a water park. But why doesn't Flamingo Land build something on the east coast? Because we've got like a thing on the west coast near Ayr, haven't we? Like a water parky sort of Buttlandsy type thing. Why can't we have something on the east coast? You know, maybe build it near Ely or Largo or somewhere like that, somewhere that's up that part of this beautiful, beautiful part of the world. There's loads of caravan sites there that I'm sure that if people came together and sold their caravan sites and a couple of acres of farmland, they'd be able to make, maybe not Flamingo Land, but maybe a Centre Parks or something. A bit more upmarket. I don't know. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, David, I agree with you there. Legalising takes the power away from the gangs. Absolutely. Let me just see. You know something? We have not conquered Facebook for people in the old Facebook world. Do you know something? I don't even know whether this live is actually working in Facebook. I'm not that bothered. I'm quite happy being on TikTok and YouTube just now. But there you have it. What else? What else do you want to see in an independent Scotland? What would you like to have? Just going down the chat just now. Hi Dunk. You're English, but you think that that we should have independence as Westminster treats you this way. That's really nice of you to say so. I appreciate you saying that. My dad's English. He's a proper East End Cockney wanker, and I love him to death. And he lives up here. He's lived up here most of his life. He doesn't believe in independence. I think he's warming to it a wee bit more now. But do you know something? I don't hate the English. I know people that are very mistrusting of their English brothers and sisters, but you guys face the same problems as we do with regards to Westminster. And to be perfectly honest, I would campaign for English independence as well. I think Westminster, with just ruling over or managing the civilization of England on its own, without considering Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland, I reckon that they would be better at doing that, because they would have to be more frugal and honest with you about stuff, you know? I really do. But I don't think that they would be happy of losing the 85 billion plus that they get a year from Scotland, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I agree, Ken. We should campaign for change in all these islands. I think that, you know something, you should do an experiment. For half a century, everybody's independent. They look after their own economy. They can trade with each other and everything within these islands. And they come back together in 50 years. And if we want to have treaties where we can share resources and things, we can do that. But I think it's the only way to move that forward would be to do it for 50 years first. Trade and everything, absolutely, but maybe more robust treaties after 50 years. Didi, a land tax if you're not born here. Where's that come from, Didi? That's interesting. I know that there's a consideration in the land reform bill that's going to have its first reading probably within the next few months, that they're looking to change the way that land is taxed, but I don't think it has anything to do with people not being born here as a whole. Let's have a look here. Wow, 205 billion, and that's including, what are you saying there, David? Including, there's the hearts in the way there. What? Including trade, right? That's a lot of money, isn't it? Scotland delivers a lot of money. Cool. What else is there? Think of anything else there? Yeah. Any more chat? What time is it? So yeah, I made a wee video. I've not got it on here to be able to actually show you just now. I wonder if I could actually do that. Let me see. I might be able to do it, and I might be able to show. No, I can't, because TikTok doesn't like the music in it. But what I will do is I will find the link for you just now on YouTube, and I'll stick it in the chats. It's pretty much my latest YouTube video, and it goes back to 2014 as a whole, and it was quite emotional for me to produce this. It talks about, it's got Nicola Sturgeon and Alex Salmond in it from their documentary just recently done on the BBC, excuse me, and when they're talking specifically about the referendum result, and Nicola said that she was devastated, and Alex said that he was going to step down and stuff like that if they didn't win the referendum. In between their conversation, the camera cuts to outside what was going to be the Victory Party at Dynamic Earth, and it's myself that they've filmed, because I was down there at the time, and I thought, holy shit, I didn't even realise that was getting filmed, to be perfectly honest. And there's what we're looking for. There's the video right there. And we want to get the link. Brilliant. So the link I'll just chuck across. I can't put it in YouTube there, but you guys in YouTube will find it. It's called My Indie Ref Experience 10 Years On. And let me stick it in the TikTok part here. I don't know whether it'll allow me to actually do this or not. Let's see. Can I send that? Yeah, there's a link there. I don't know whether that comes up as a link or not, but if you go to youtube.com/Saorsa, no, at Saorsa, because YouTube are weird now. So that is the, what's it called, the YouTube site, and go and have a look at the video. It was very emotional for me. It's just my experience, and it spans from 2014 right up to the present day, when we've been campaigning with Believe in Scotland and other marches as well for All Under One Banner, and all the wonderful independence activists I've had the opportunity to rub shoulders with and speak to. And I think that's really it for me, because it's the movement as a whole, the ability for people who believe in the same goals to come together and campaign for things in a positive way. That's really what we have done as a movement. And There's nothing more positive about the word yes. You know that? And that's who we are. We're the yes family. We're the people that campaigned positively. And I'll go right back to the beginning just now. We lost the referendum, but we're celebrating a milestone of 10 years of still campaigning and holding this union to account and being able to keep the momentum going at round about 50%, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but let's call it 50-50 now. We need to convince more Scots that independence is best. And I believe that the longer we stay in the union, the easier that's going to become. Because at the end of the day, they provide us with the ammunition that we need just to have those arguments. And the best argument, to be perfectly honest, is their union. It's the Unionists' union. And they have to own the decisions that their Unionist leaders make. They're too busy belittling us to even realise that they're being walked over. And it's such a shame. I really pity them. It really is. So yeah, go and have a look at that video, right? And like I say, this is just an ad hoc, let's just put together a quick live and come on for a chat sort of thing. I'm going to go on to Discord after this with the gang. If there's anybody here who we've interacted before wants to ever come and join us in Discord, please get in touch and DM me, and we'll have a chat about you coming into it as well. Right? Remember, keep liking, sharing and following all your favourite independence commentators and creators. It's really important that you do this, that you, in TikTok, that you tap the screen all the time. You know, every few minutes tap it again, you know, get another 30, 40 likes on it. Share it out to your friends. Do the same on YouTube. Do the same on Facebook when we go live on Facebook. But it's so important. If you're not out there campaigning in the streets, or you're not really doing anything, your job's more important than me sitting in front of my camera here. Your job is to click and share and comment and to beat the algorithm. That is digital activism. That is your digital leaflets. This is my digital stall. This is my street stall on the internet. This is your opportunity to share the work that I do, share the work that other independent creators do, because the more you share it, the more people have access to it. Take the link from a TikTok video, stick it on your YouTube, stick it on Twitter if you like it. You just don't know. You might think that's pretty samey sort of message that he's doing, but you don't know who it's going to reach after you've shared it. It might reach somebody that becomes one of the most inspiring independence activists that would change the mind of 500,000 people with their arguments. You just don't know. And that's why we need to keep sharing all the time. But I'm going to go. Okay, and we're back at 11 o'clock on Friday with the proper live, and that is all going to be about the tactics of the British state and how they've manipulated Scotland over the year. There's 3 videos on YouTube and a blog that comes out at midnight tonight on saorsascot.com that's all about that. So please take the time to go and read the blog, go to the YouTube channel. I think that all the videos are up on TikTok as well, and they're definitely up on Instagram too. But take the time to go and watch them. Pretty fun, they're interesting, and you might learn something. Okay? In the meantime, night.